Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Psalm 55:22, King James Version. Hashtag miracle minded. Hashtag miracle focus. Hashtag miracle signs and wonders. Hashtag show me who you are, God. Hashtag show me who I am, God. Hashtag thank you for how you made me. You forgot hashtag Kim Foxx. Hashtag corruption. Hashtag Democratic plantation. Hashtag I give great hugs. All right. So no real apology, just Bible verses, of course. Okay, just Bible verses, of course. Because you don't need to apologize when God has the Hallmark card for this occasion. Patrice, thank you for joining me again. I know there's so much going on, and I really need to get some of this local Chicago news out of the way again, because there's a lot going on nationally, and I do want to get to that again. But I live in Chicago, and our mayor and our local area is just brimming with corruption. And it's just, I feel like just a matter of time that, before our mayor, dear Brandon Johnson, and his incompetence lands him in some hot water. So I'm just here to make sure that I see it and I report it to you as soon as it happens, because I know you all are waiting for this. It should be soon. I mean, this man it has apparently been surrounded with some really not competent people. Stacey Davis Gates, or whatever her name is, the Chicago Teachers Union president, basically has her hand in his coffers. It's there's so many issues that the Chicago public schools have failed to address, but yet and still their answers are they still need more funding. And they were the machine behind getting Brandon Johnson elected. So unions in Chicago are very powerful, as they can be anywhere, but even much more so here. Legislative members have a lot more power than they should here. City council on to House, the state representatives. And yeah, so we've got a lot to deal with here. So let's just get into it. I'm, like I said, again, glad you're here. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think about what's going on here. Is your town just as bad? Are you in Chicago too? Do you remember it ever being this bad? Like, I need answers, guys. Like, I'm seriously here in bewilderment. This is not a drill, okay? So yeah, let's just get into it, because and let me tell you, this is a disclaimer here. If you're in AA, this episode is not for you. If you are recovering from any, alcohol abuse or any issues like that, this is not the episode for you. I had my coquito. I had been very excited to have my own homemade coquito, because I had a friend who used to make it for me when I worked at a different location, and I no longer have access to that. And I had another friend who used to make me coquito, and I don't know what happened to them, but I'm not going to just be out here chasing people for coquito. So I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to make it. And so I think I did pretty good. And I should have done this episode probably a couple days ago, but Thanksgiving, coquito, you have your answer there. And then the stuff just keeps coming out. So let's just get into it, because I'm not the only one drinking, obviously. And in Chicago, we saw, with that Cook County Review Board member who had her body cam footage leaked from last week or a few weeks ago, mid to late October, early November, I believe it was. She was caught driving under the influence. And that body cam footage showed that she used her privilege immediately, even through her intoxication. She was hammered. She did not seem to have much of an idea of the gravity of the circumstance she was in. However, her reflexes, her training kicked in, and she knew she had to scream out when she was asked for her license registration. What did you have to drink, ma'am? Do you know you were doing XYZ? She knew that if she yelled out, "I'm an elected official," she'd be okay. And I'm seeing a pattern here, because there was a video released of an official that we're going to get into in a little bit. But I just want to let you know, we've got more of that happening here, where "I'm an elected official" is the get out of jail free card. Okay. And they know this. So who's doing the trainings? And I want to know, why wasn't I privy to this? Because I would have stayed out of trouble all these years, just so I could become an elected official and then do all the things that I had been scared to do, because, I didn't want to mar my good reputation. But you don't have to worry about it once you're an elected official. That is the privilege. You've taken an oath that you're going to use the taxpayers' dollars however you'd like. You're going to make sure that you tell the press they can kiss your behind. And if they don't like it, you snatch their credentials. Okay. You're going to use the police as your personal security detail, but then you're going to disrespect them when they have fallen officers by not mentioning those fallen officers' names, or trying to double down on coming to their funeral services when the family tells you, "Hell no, stay away, because you're the reason that my family member was injured or killed." Right. So those are the oaths that you take when you're an elected official. And then on top of that, you have to take the oath of not being sober. I mean, God, you solemnly swear to not be sober. You go to the fundraisers, you have all the drinks they give you for free on the taxpayer's dime, however the math works for you. Okay. And then you scream out, "I'm an elected official," and you waste police manpower and time. And then you go and you get at the podium and you say how much you respect and love them. But then you go out and you get drunk and you endanger lives, and you make the police look really bad and really soft, so that when the other criminals see the police, they know that they also should give the same level of respect. And they may too be able to yell out, "I'm an elected official." Who knows? I mean, we may start electing gangbangers to the COPA review board. I don't see why this is off the table. Why is it off the table? Right. So as you can see, I'm here I'm trying to do a second, I want to have my chance at this, since I now know that there's new rules, and I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought you guys cared about your elected officials having too much to drink. So I have not had anything to drink, but I am, under the influence of my own power and my blouse and my collars and my lace sleeves. Shout out to Sheen. Okay. And I'm going to get into this "I'm elected official" groove, So, hey, you may have seen me doing something criminal, but remember, I am an elected official. And so you can call the cops, but they're just going to stand around me for hours trying to figure out what they can do, because I'm an elected official. All right. And so let's get into it. And I mean, I don't see why Kamala lost, right? I mean, if by Chicagoans' own rules, right, and rules of the road and know-how and things like that, you got to flex that elected official role. And Kamala was already VP when she went and sat down at the bar with that other lady, I forgot her name, in Massachusetts or wherever they were, right? And, she's if she's able to sit down and have a beer with a lady, I don't see why she didn't win. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember seeing Trump drink. You know, and now I'm confused. So yeah, let's just oh yeah. So we didn't get to talk about this because Kamala gave us a preview at the bar, and then I guess I don't know, somebody on her team was like, "Hey, you got to take a stab at like another run somewhere else and let them know, hey, you gets down, girl." And so she came out and she did this video, and so let's look at the video. So Tim Walz is weird, and we know that, and it's fine. It's like, come on, that's the guy you picked. All right. So they go on here, and then here is our beloved
and welcoming our Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Back at you, brother. You are such an extraordinary leader, and we have become lifelong friends. I just, in front of everyone, I want to thank you, Tim. You lead with courage. You lead with heart. You see the people. You care about the people. You believe in uplifting the dignity to which all people are entitled, and put in me and Governor Walz and our team. And I am thankful because I know your character is such that you're not going to get knocked down. And you're in this fight. And you're in it for all the right reasons. And I know that about you. It's why you're part of this call right now and all the work that you did over those 107 days and even before. That's your nature. And the outcome of this election, obviously, is not what we wanted. It is not what we worked so hard for. But I am proud of the race we ran. And
oh my God. That proud? I am proud. Like, sis is struggling. Like, I don't think y'all understanding that this woman, she's definitely on something. Like, look at this still. Like, I'm cutting this person off. Okay. Are you going to let her drive you home? This person in this screenshot. It's not driving me. I'm proud. Whew. I mean, come on. I mean, the hair is a little off. Like, something's not right here. Like, it's given, Kamala, just go out here and do the one more thing. Oh, God, okay. No, why are you drinking? You can't drink now. Oh, well, they won't notice.
And your role in this was critical. What we did in 107 days was unprecedented.
Yeah, blowing $1 billion. How much did she spend in 107 days? And then now the celebrities are coming out saying, no, I didn't get paid. So like Cardi denied being paid. Beyonce's mom came out and snapped on Candace Owens and said she hadn't been paid. So it's like, that actually makes it look worse. So you people actually came out with your convictions to help represent this woman, and she still lost, and she can't account for all this money. Like, what?
Think about the coalition that we built, and we were so intentional about that. You would hear me talk about it all the time.
Oh my God, it's given like, it's definitely given frat house like vibes. Like, who let her do this?
Time being a daughter of parents who are active in the civil rights movement, I know and believe that the best movements that are about progress in our country mean that it's leaders that we are dedicated to the coalition, to bringing people together that seemingly have nothing in common, but have everything in common. A coalition where we bring people together based on a deep love of our country and our understanding.
She about to yak right now.
That the strength of our country will be a function of our willingness to put in the work.
Girl.
And that we will do that work with a sense of joy, yes.
Ugh.
With a sense of work ethic and understanding that it's going to be hard, but it's good work. It's good work. To be engaged in a collective fight for America's future. And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors.
This is like that apology call you get after you get caught, you know, in the Ponzi scheme. This is like, I know you guys have seen the news and people are saying things about this organization, but we are totally legit. If we were not legit, would I be able to release this video?
You called friends. You called in favors. You said, hey,
Hey,
I
bro.
showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign
Blah, blah,
office.
blah, 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 blah,
You
blah.
put in the time.
Shh. Okay, like I don't know if it gets worse.
$500 billion from grassroots
I watched this
supporters
once
alone.
already myself, and
The
I just
most
don't
in
know if I'm going
presidential
to expose
campaign
myself
history.
to brain rot.
Nearly 8 million donors contributed an average donation of about $56.
She's disappointed in y'all. Did y'all see her face? She's like, $56. You brokey. You couldn't have gave more money. Maybe Beyonce would have claimed this bag.
To fuel our people-powered campaign. And understand that the work that we did included the work that so many of you here did, which is to talk to first-time voters. Many of you are first-time voters. And to talk about how being involved can make a difference. And that remains true in this
All right.
together.
I'm done.
And it's going to have lasting effect. Again, I'll say, the election didn't turn out like we wanted it to. Certainly not as we planned for it to. But understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with the work we did. Our spirit and our work was about saying that it is a strength that we each have to lift people up, as opposed to beating people down. It is a strength we have that has lasting effect. So all that work that you did that was about engaging with other people, engaging with perfect strangers and in their face seeing a neighbor, that as long as we never give up and we keep fighting. And the fight that fueled our campaign, a fight for freedom and opportunity, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the dignity of all people, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the future, a future in which all people receive the promise of America.
All right, word salad again. Okay, so you guys, you be the judge. I don't know. You seen your drunk auntie that cooked greens in the bathtub. Is this her? Is that Mamala? Drama. Mamala with the Kalua. I don't know. I was really going for the alliteration or the rhyming, and it fell short. Anyway, so Kamala, I don't know why she lost, because she's got the drunk thing down. If she isn't, it's giving, and she's got it down, I'm convinced. And so so Kim Foxx, had her last day as the state's attorney, Cook County state's attorney, and she's been known for quite a few fumbles, including the infamous Jussie Smollett faux hate crime with the 3 a.m., 2 a.m. negative 20-degree sub noose by Nigerian incident. Okay. I still can't believe that was real. And then during COVID, right? And then he goes, he gets tried, and Eddie Johnson, I think, was the police chief at the time, and he's pretty pissed that they wasted a lot of man hours on that. I'd be too, right? You think the mayor would care more, right? You think the mayors and the state's attorney would care more, right? About how you're wasting it's a waste of tax dollars when you are spending resources investigating crimes that should not even be happening, let alone made up crimes, and then you don't have the support of the elected officials around you who are supposed to prosecute criminals and make crime a serious thing. But there seems to be a concerted effort to make crime a not serious thing. Unless, of course, you are helping stop crime, then you are a criminal. That seems to be the new, the new consensus here legally. And so Kim Foxx, she, I guess she's got some, I don't know what the deal is, why Jussie Smollett got off. And guess what? I'm not going to waste any more time on that. We spent enough time on Jussie Smollett. So you guys tell me why the hell Jussie Smollett is walking around and he got his charges dropped or whatever. But Kim Foxx, in her way, has just been doing these things. And I don't understand them, but thank God, hopefully all of her worst is behind us, even though we're going to have to continue cleaning up the mess that she's left. But we need a new day of law and order because we got some issues here. So I just find it interesting that this story has not been, so this is what I wanted to get to, you guys, is that this story has not, I've not seen anybody talking about this. I guess it broke in 2022 when it originally happened. And clearly the media and Kim Foxx and this mayor of Maywood, Illinois, which is a small suburb in, I believe, west suburb of, or south or southwest suburb of Chicago, which, no, it's like west. I believe that this man found his his footing here as another corrupt, Illinois politician, right? And so Nathaniel Booker of Maywood was found sleeping in his car on 290, the Kenny Expressway, at like 1 a.m. on a Friday in 2022, in the middle lane in a construction area right before the Jane Byrne interchange. If you know anything about Chicago and driving, you know that this is a miracle that this man was not rocked at like 80 miles an hour by a car speeding through there, at club hours, right? And so he fell asleep in his car. The police found him there, slumped, completely asleep, and the rest is just a marvel. But somehow the charges were dropped, and here we are in 2024. This man is getting ready to run for re-election. He was at an event taking pictures with our dear beloved Brandon Johnson. Let me just show you that. So here we go. The Mayor Nathaniel George Booker, November 25th, posted this. Village of Maywood excited to be partnering with Eden Career Institute. Eden Career Institute is owned by Dr. Bill Winston, who is a televangelist, who's internationally known. We could talk about that in our episode when we talk about the churches and the Black vote and politics, for sure. Because I got to do a little more digging on that. But Bill Winston, just, mega church, known for, being a Black televangelist. And it's a non-denominational church. But anyway, he's heading this foundation, the Eden Career Institute, and they're doing a partnership for some tech hubs and different developments for career placement, military, veteran reentry, citizen, advocacy, looks like here, different programs for youth and others. Okay. And so we have our beloved Brandon Johnson here right in the middle of this. I'm just amazed at how this man's always in something. Like, just like right in the middle. I don't know what his deal is, what he's got to do with this, but we're going to find out. But I just want y'all to see this. So there's our dear Mayor Nathaniel George Booker of Maywood, who's running for re-election in 2025, I do believe, according to some recent Facebook posts on the Village of Maywood's website. And this man seems to be, a great guy. He probably gives great hugs, I'm sure, just like Bill Winston and his members of his church. Usually that is one of the defining characteristics of why we reelect people, why we go to their churches, why we open our wallets to them. They give good hugs. They make their greens in the bathtub, and they can keep a beat. Those are the criteria, guys, because I can't understand how you would let this man continue to run your city with no apology, no real apology, just Bible verses, of course. Okay, just Bible verses, of course. Because, you don't need to apologize when God has the Hallmark card for this occasion. So let's just take a look at our dear Mr. Nathaniel and what happened to him in 2022 that was just seemingly released.
New at 10, sleeping at the wheel, blocking traffic on the Kennedy. The mayor of Maywood arrested for driving drunk. CBS 2's Jermont Terry is live along the Kennedy where police found the mayor. Jermont.
I'm sorry. So this is the footage from 2022 when it originally broke. And I don't remember hearing anything about this. So like I said, it came out and it just went away.
Erica, when people saw their car parked, or I should say stopped here along the middle of the Kennedy, many assumed that the man slumped over the wheel, needed medical attention. But when Chicago police and fire arrived, they say the only thing the driver needed to do was sober up. The Kennedy Expressway stays busy with vehicles day and night. But around 1 a.m. last Friday morning, a guy was going nowhere near the Jane Byrne Interchange construction zone.
They got a man slumped over the wheel on the Kennedy at Monroe. Monroe and the Kennedy inbound to Mill with a blue-collar shirt slumped over the wheel of a black Volkswagen SUV.
When officers arrived, CPD tells us the man sleeping in the running vehicle was Nathaniel George Booker, Maywood's mayor. Here he is in that blue-collar shirt. CPD booked Booker for obstructing drivers on the highway and driving under the influence of alcohol. While it's not clear if he was in his personal vehicle or a city-issued one, cops say Booker was so intoxicated he simply fell asleep behind the wheel. I stopped by the mayor's house to see if he could explain himself, but no one came to the door. Over at City Hall, all was quiet at the building where the mayor's name is proudly plastered on the door. We do not know where the mayor was coming from, nor did investigators reveal his blood alcohol level. What is clear?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the board meeting tonight.
Mayor Booker was back to handling the village's business Tuesday night, 4 days after his arrest.
Like nothing happened.
Here.
While he hasn't addressed the DUI publicly, the mayor will have to do so when he steps in court in the coming weeks.
Oh, you think, right? You freaking think.
Fortunately, no one hit or ran into the mayor's vehicle when it was parked here along the Kennedy. We should point out the DUI is a misdemeanor charge, and he did receive a ticket for blocking traffic along the Kennedy. Reporting live tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News. Erica?
Thank you,
So
Jermont.
let's take a look at the actual footage since we didn't get much
Chicago
detail
cops
back
get a lot
in
of mud thrown at
2022.
them these days.
Gotta
And
love the
bottles
body
and
cams,
skateboards
guys.
and bullets, but every day thousands of officers patrol the city streets and do what they are trained to do. We'd love to show you what we hear about, but the department doesn't like to release videos of these incidents and cites obscure laws to deny our requests. We filed over a dozen and only one video was provided, and only after we overcame their initial denial that the incident even occurred. But sometimes the public catches a break. You see, the law also states that when anyone's FOIA request is fulfilled, the requested materials themselves automatically become public. Today, we share with you a video that followed that path, a video no other news outlet or YouTube channel has yet to discover or publish. As widely reported in local news, on May 13, 2022, Mayor Nathaniel Booker of Chicagoland's West Suburban Maywood was driving home from a political event downtown in his government-issued Ford Explorer when he was found asleep behind the wheel just north of the Jane Byrne interchange on the Kennedy Expressway. This is commonly known in law enforcement as a slumper. A passing motorist had reported the car as it was disrupting busy traffic. When officers responded, well, that's where the video starts, so let's just get into it. We're not really going for a ride here, so grab a neon vest and watch for cars.
All right, so I'm going to just show you guys the meat of this, but I just want you to see how ridiculous this is from the beginning, for sure. I'm just going to get the highlights. This is 33 minutes of video on this page, okay? So you guys can go to YouTube, and I'll probably link the card here. Chicagoland Mayor arrested for DUI, no charges. But here we go.
Sir, police. What? Open your door. Sir, open your door. Sir, open your door.
This mug is absolutely
Open your door. Sir, police department, open your door. You're in the middle of the highway. Open the door. All right, you doing? Do you need an ambulance? Sir. Sir, put your car in park for me.
He not even in park.
Sir, do you need an ambulance? You understand where, do you know where you are right now?
49.
If that's what you want me to do, yes.
Hey, you're in the middle of the highway sleeping in your car.
I have my
You were sleeping.
at 2000 South Carolina.
Now, can you turn your car off for me? Okay, do you have a, where's the key fob at? Oh, don't turn it on. Keep it off. All right, we have a. Look at me. Hey, do you know where you are right now? What's going on? Okay. Take off your seatbelt for me. The fire department's coming, okay? Do you have the ID on you? Sure. Can I see it?
So embarrassing.
Not yet. 21. You can show us some that's swim around the highway. Are you going home?
He is gone. Look at this.
Where are you coming from? An elected official? What are you elected official for?
Hey, you're the...
Sorry?
I came from an official. So, hey.
Are you going home right now?
I am.
All right, where do you live? You know what city you're in right now? Yeah, we don't come up. How much have you had to drink tonight?
I am not an official.
Sorry?
He really wants to advocate for himself.
Are you sick or injured?
I do.
Do you take any medication for anything? Okay, so
I do not take any. No.
This man laughing in the back.
How much you had to drink tonight?
I had an event to celebrate a fundraiser.
Okay.
And I came here.
Maybe you were drinking at the fundraiser.
Sure.
How much have you had to drink?
Not enough to go to this.
All right. Tequila, beer, vodka.
No, like if you're like, oh, what do you think? Would you drink that? I'll have tequila.
You had tequila?
But like, it's not tequila.
Is ISP here? I haven't seen him. I can take him out. What's going on with that? Is he official? Or he's somebody. He's wrong. So we can take him out. Here's what it is. Here's his, Hey, Nathaniel? Nathaniel, step in your car. Yeah, you can't be in your car right now.
He's like, wait, I already hit you with the I'm an elected official. What, you talking to me? Me get out my car? What do you mean? I know I was just asleep here and I just said I had something to drink and I totally can't get a whole fucking coherent sentence out. And I really don't give a fuck about all these people being out here in the middle of a fucking expressway right now because I'm not even trying to fucking like move this process along. Like, I don't even realize nobody's life is in danger. Okay. But okay, yeah. You want me to get out of the car? Yes, you. It is crazy. You bet.
Right,
You bet you, bud.
Car, okay?
Hey, he wasn't that drunk. He remembered to unbutton them last 2 buttons and get that shirt out, okay? He knew to let that belly breathe. He knew to ask for that attorney. He knew to say elected official. I'm telling you, they go through the training, guys. I swear the oath of the taxpayers, the community, and drink, drive. I'm an elected official, waste tax dollars.
No, we need to get you out of the highway.
No. I'm not trying to be funny. You don't need to know my attorney right now. Like, I'm not so
Right, no, for your safety and everybody here.
No, I'm
we need to get you out of the highway.
I'm trying to the highway.
You're in the middle of the highway. We need to get you out of the highway.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So it does.
Okay.
Do I need to contact my attorney?
The attorney's not helping right now, guys.
I'm not drunk.
I'm not drunk as he stumbles.
For your well-being.
I'm not trying to be some crazy person.
Okay.
I'm literally a mayor of a fucking town.
Aw.
I went to a fundraiser.
Okay.
I'm trying to get turned from to attorney.
No, we're trying to get you home.
Right. So
we're trying to get everyone here off the highway. We're in the middle of the highway.
Literally crazy.
And we need to get.
At least we know there's levels to his drunk, because he's now at, like, you know, he came down a little. So now he's sobered up a little bit. He's now realizing once his feet hit the ground, like, damn, I'm about to go to jail. Let me get to self-defense mode. I'm a mayor. Did you hear me say that again?
Get off of it.
And I agree with you.
Does that make sense?
I agree with you.
But I'm not some crazy person.
I'm not saying you're crazy.
Right, and I agree with you with that.
I'm saying that we need to get off the highway. So that's why I need to drive you to the Monroe Street exit. Am I actually accepting?
This is
You can't drive this car right now.
No. So what I'm accepting this.
You're not accepting it.
I'm not accepting it.
Highway really quick.
We're just trying to get you out.
I'm a paramedic here. I need to get you off this highway. I would love to do that. So what am I accepting, really?
You're accepting to let me take a look at you. What you're accepting.
But I'm not doing anything crazy.
Have you been drinking today?
I had a drink at a fundraising.
Just one drink?
No, I had a drink at a fundraising event.
All right, well, if we get you off the highway.
So we're not.
If we get you off the highway 2 minutes, and then we can talk. Is that okay? We'll just get you off the highway right now. That's all I want right now, is just get you off the highway.
Okay, I would love to get that, but
Can you just take a step legally? Legally what? I have a legal bound too.
Here, come over here. Come over here.
He's like, I'm done with you. He's like, I'm done with you, guy. Because the paramedic has no time for this at all. At all. Okay? The cops don't either, but because they're under so much scrutiny, you know, the paramedic got to come in and try to take some more forceful persuasion, right? He about to fall. He almost fell over into where they're redirecting traffic. Like, do you see the paramedic had to grab him?
I know, but we have an obligation because we're on the highway and it's dangerous.
So we can't continue this on the highway.
Look at all these cars are coming. All of us are standing out here.
Do y'all see what y'all have reduced the police to? Like, look at this. This is your protection force, and you wonder why the kids are shooting at them and throwing rocks at them and stealing cars and leading in chases.
We can get hit at any moment. Okay, so let's get everybody to safety. Okay.
I guess I look at
We're just worried about you. We're worried
I
about
don't want you to worry about me.
you. But that's our job.
But so if I worry about 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Well, if we don't all get off the highway, none of us are going to have 10 or 20 years from now.
Do you see how many people are out here?
Yeah, come on, this is dangerous for all of us.
We're here for you because we're concerned.
I don't think this is a concern for me.
No, it is.
I don't look at all of any of this. It's a concern for me.
Come on,
And I'm sure, at some point in time.
All right. So he's still confused. What the fuck is happening right now? He's basically he knows he's drunk and he knows he's fucked up, but he's just trying to find a way to not get arrested right now, and he's just too drunk to navigate this scenario for himself. So there's minutes and minutes of that. Oh yeah. So here's I want to walk on the highway.
Right to the top of the highway, okay? So we can all get off.
I don't want to. Sure.
You can't walk on the highway.
I can.
You can't.
I don't want to.
She had to get his hand off her. You see how he grabbing her? That was smooth. That was smooth how she stopped him from grabbing her.
Sure.
You can't walk on the highway.
I can.
You can't.
It's illegal. We can't. It's unsafe. It's unsafe.
Yeah, we can't let you do that.
I can walk on the highway, guys.
So let's just get you right. We're just going to get you to the top of the ramp, okay? So we can all get
I don't trust them.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
We're not going to handcuff you.
What don't you trust?
The fact that you're asking me to do something, but I'm saying, okay, I'll do it. But you're like, but I want you to trust that he wants you to do it.
Right. We're just trying to expedite
I'll do whatever y'all want. I will do whatever y'all want me to do.
And Nathaniel, we're just going to drive you up to the highway. We can't stand out here in the middle of the highway.
Tell me what you want to do.
I want you to sit in my squad car.
We're just going to get in here real quick.
I'm not getting a trust car.
Why?
Because I don't trust it.
What don't you trust about it?
Exactly do you want me to do? You're not in handcuffs.
You're not even in handcuffs.
You're not in handcuffs.
It's just a ride on the highway.
It's a ride about 500 feet that way.
It's a free Uber. What do you want me to do?
Like, in what society is this acceptable to have your police bargaining with a drunk man about getting out of the middle of the expressway? Oh, I'm an elected official. Ay, caramba.
Doesn't equate me to trusting getting into a car.
That's the only option because we can't let you drive.
That's not the only option.
I swear I've seen that cop before somewhere. He is not to be played with right now.
I'm not getting into that car. I don't trust that getting to that car.
I don't want to do anything.
Everything's already recording.
Look, he said,
you don't trust us.
you heard it. He said, look, I don't want to have to handcuff you. So I'm giving you the option. You refuse to go with the paramedic. That was your non-jail option immediately to say, you know what? Okay, I'm fucking go. Let me go get tested or something. But you didn't see that out. So here you are now giving yourself limited options. Like, I'm going to run from the police on the expressway, which, you know, I guess that would have been better in his mind than just taking the ride up to the top of the ramp, not in handcuffs, and then sorting the rest of this out later. But now you're resisting. Like, in real life, where do the police get to put this man in cuffs and throw him in the back of the car? Like, come on.
Our body cams are on. You understand that, right? You have 4 body cams on. And I understand that. So nothing bad's gonna happen. So if you want me to walk over to that, you can't walk. You can't walk. The only option is what my partner's telling you. So you're telling me even though you're cameraing me, I don't have an option. It's for your safety. And everyone else is saying you drive, you walk along the highway. You understand that? That is not for my safety. That is not for my safety. It literally is for your safety.
So would you feel more comfortable going in our car? Mine and my partner's?
I would.
Okay.
If you want me to do something, tell me what you want me to do.
All right, we're gonna pull our car up here. You're more comfortable going with me and my partner?
If you want me to get in the
car,
car,
it's still a squad car. Is that okay?
If that's what you want me to do,
that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Where's your key fob? So that we can move your car.
Now here we go with this.
It's in the car.
Stay with me.
We can't let you in the car, man.
You go to ISP. So here's the Illinois State Police. Finally got there.
I don't know.
I know he's just ready to arrest his ass.
Just get out here and just open the door. I'm not trying to drive the car away. We can't let you inside. I would read in, ratchet in, and say that's where it is. You can't point from here. Where it's at. Well, you're asking me for something that. Right, we're asking you to point where the key. All right, Nathaniel. Come on.
We can't get on.
I'm literally just trying to say.
Here, come on, why don't we get
you want this? I want to grab it for you. I
just want you to tell me where it is.
Come on, man. Like,
I'm not trying to be difficult.
but I'm not trying to be difficult either, right?
We'll find it, okay? Here, just follow this officer.
No, I'm honestly, I want an attorney. I want my attorney. I want an attorney. We're simply trying to get you out for your safety.
You're not under arrest, bro. Yeah, ISP is like, bro, we are ready to cuff this guy right now.
You don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's my safety at all. It is. The fact that you've been out here for a long time, slumped over, backing traffic up in the middle of the highway, you'll see nothing wrong with that at all. No safety issue with that at all. Yeah, and that if I felt the way that if we felt the same way, and if it felt the same way, and if life had the same way, yes. Maybe, yes. I feel the same way.
She's so over it. Like, I almost had him in the car, y'all. The damn men messed it up.
On your instance, you're like, hey, bro, I'm not trying to be funny.
I can't believe this, guys. Like,
Real for 3 months.
look at the ISP face. They are ready to slam this guy on the car.
We got your phone in the car. You want to come with us?
I don't want to let anybody.
Well, we gotta get you.
I want an attorney.
Not a problem. We can get you one, but we gotta do it off the highway. Okay, because you're obstructing traffic now. Okay, come on. We'll just get you.
People out of traffic right now, so we need to get onto the street.
Yeah, we're gonna leave these officers.
I swear I want to trust you.
Okay, let's go then.
She's there. Come on.
Look at the two guys. Like, the men are all like so powerless right now because like this guy is really, effeminate too. So now it's like they don't even know where to go with this. Like, the girls got it. They're trying to just like coax him into it, but like he messed up asking about this key fob again, and then he just argued with him like, bro, you don't think you're drunk? You don't see what's wrong here? You're not even in cuffs. I think you should be, but you keep asking for it. Like, let me paint this picture again for you. Oh my God.
We'll even let you open the door, okay? Come on, Nathaniel. Let's go. Here, come on, right here. You can open the door. Next one.
All right, so he finally slowly gets in the car.
No. You don't take any medication? No. And I wish I felt that this was for my safety.
So he's pissed. They're gonna do the sobriety test.
Right, you fell asleep. I don't find it. I'm sorry? I do not decline it.
You do not what?
Decline it.
You do not decline it? So let me check your eyes real quick. Okay, do you wear contacts? Is there anything wrong with your eyes or any eye abnormalities? Okay. So what I want you to do is put your feet together and your arms down at your side. All right. And you're going to keep your head perfectly still. Do not move your head. And you're going to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only. You understand? Okay. Let's just do that real quick.
I'm like, can I do that?
Okay. Just keep doing that. You're doing perfect.
I like really want to know what he's looking for, but I think it happened like his eyes started rolling, like, yeah, there. Zumaraga can't wait for him to fail this sobriety test. He's over it.
Just follow your eyes.
Okay, this part was killing me. Hold on.
Yeah, but just follow with your eyes, okay? Ready?
The irony of the wine, beer, and spirits in this frame for me.
So keep the head still, and then move it slower. stand up. You gotta keep that head down like this.
You're moving up.
I know, but you have to follow with your eyes.
But you're moving up.
Well, your eyes aren't on the way up yet. That's why.
But you're moving up.
Just keep that head still, though. Just sort of bring your eyes all the way up. Not your head. Moving the head again. So keep that head perfectly still and joust your eyes.
I'm trying to see if I can do it.
Moving the head again. Joust your eyes. You understand? Keep your head still?
Yeah,
So it's going to look like this.
Sure, but I understand.
That shit makes my head hurt.
It's moving up, right?
Yeah, but your head stays still, right? So you know how to look up like this? That's what
How in the world am I not supposed to move up? If you're moving up.
you can look up right with your eyes.
If you raise your eyebrows, you'll be able to.
I'll go slower.
Sure, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, just don't move your eyebrows.
That's the last part.
So if things are moving up and I move up, I'm moving up.
I'm moving up.
All right, I'll go slower. Good job. Okay? Can you come over here for me? We're going to stand on this X right here. Daniel?
That's very far.
It's very far.
You want me to walk with you?
He said that's very far.
But just saying, you
I'll
know,
walk with you. Come on.
Oh my
no,
God.
what are we fighting?
So you see that X? We're just going to stand right there.
Sure.
Right there. Stand on it. Here,
I see it.
stand on the X.
And I see it.
Here, we're going to start from there, okay? But I need you
Sure.
to stand on there.
Sure.
So stand right here. Okay, walk forward. All right, now face the Walgreens behind you. All right, do you see this yellow line, Daniel?
Sure.
All right, we're going to use that yellow line, okay?
Go for it.
So what I want you to do is put your left foot on the line right in the middle of it, and put your right foot directly in front of your left foot with the toe touching your heel, just like I'm doing.
Because that's going to stop a death in Chicagoland area tonight. Yes.
We're just making.
He said, because that's going to stop a death in the Chicagoland area tonight. Hello, sir. We saved your life for sure. Okay? For sure we saved your life. Like, I would have definitely threw that in there.
Make sure you're okay, Nathaniel, okay?
No, you're not. You're making sure that people don't die tonight.
Okay. All right, you want to try this out?
I have no choice.
You do have a choice, but
No, I don't.
all right, let's just try it, okay?
He keep making me think the officer's camera is leaning in.
Okay, so put your left foot on the line. Now put your right foot directly in front of your left foot with the toe touching your heel, just like that, man. All right, try your best.
What do you want me to do this?
Just like I got my feet, okay? So once you're in the position that I'm in with my feet, I want you to put your arms down at your side and stay like this until I tell you to start. Understand? Okay, just like how I had it. So the right foot's going to be in front of your left foot with the toe touching your heel, just like I'm there. And then put your arms down at your side. Okay? Just try your best, Nathaniel. All right, but do you understand to stay like that? Do you understand to stay like that until I tell you to start? If you can't do it, just stand there and I'll give you the instructions, okay? But I just need to know, do you understand to not do anything until I tell you to start? You understand, Nathaniel?
I understand this is ridiculous.
But do you understand that instruction?
I understand your instruction is ridiculous.
Right. But do you understand to not do anything until I tell you to start? What don't you
I
understand?
understand, sure. Actually, do something like that.
Okay. So when I tell you to start from this position, you're going to take 9
He's such a
steps,
childish drunk.
touching heel to toe, while watching your feet, counting your steps out loud, and keeping your arms down at your side. It's going to look just like this.
And I'm asking
1,
you, why is that? Why is that?
2, 3. I'm sorry?
So, if I'm giving you what you want,
Okay.
why is that relevant?
These are to test to see if you're...
I want an attorney.
You want an
That's-
attorney?
I literally want an attorney.
Okay, so you don't want to do
Because
this?
I think this is crazy.
You think this is
Because
crazy?
I don't understand the value of this. So I'm
He
asking
was
you
keeping
for an
your ass
attorney.
out
Want
of
an
jail
attorney?
for
If you're
5 more
asking me
minutes.
to do this, because honestly, I will do this all day long.
And now they triangulate for the arrest / takedown.
We
And
haven't
I
been
will
able to
give you
do it
this.
He
And
said
I
you
will
ain't been
say
able to do it
this.
once.
And I will say this. And I will say, obviously, this. But that's not enough for you. So honestly, I don't understand. Where's an attorney
You want an attorney?
Or I feel protected.
Do you want to call an attorney?
I don't feel protected by this at all. I don't feel what I'm doing right now is protecting of me whatsoever. As a person who literally lives my life at this point to say, I'm trying to make the lives better for people.
Okay.
I don't think that this at all, none of this does anything for make me as a person. It's like, I don't have to do shit of this.
So you don't want to do the line?
I don't want to do any of this.
Do you want to take a breathalyzer?
I want an attorney.
Okay, can you put your hands behind your back for me?
And now, and you feel what you...
All right, Daniel, put your hands behind your back.
Like, what did you think was happening after you refused everything? Like, hello, they're just gonna let you, what, catch a fucking red line?
Yes, I'm hitting a drunk driver off the streets tonight. Okay. All right, you're under arrest for DUI, Nathaniel. Do you understand that?
I understand that I have to hire an attorney now.
Good job, CPD.
This is crazy. I don't understand.
All right, do you have anything in your car that you want to grab through your cell phone?
I want an attorney.
Let's walk to my cell phone.
Good job, CPD. So basically, he goes to the station, he gets booked, and I'm gonna let this guy tell you the rest of why this is just ridiculous. I mean,
Attorney Kim Foxx. Mayor Booker was arrested and held, as we see here, but the Cook County State's Attorney, Kim Foxx, appears to have declined to file any charges. He continues to serve as mayor of Maywood, Illinois, and posted a Facebook message following the arrest where he quoted religious passages and a desire to put the incident behind him.
I definitely have to read this because I love a good sermon from, you know, one of our respected and prized political leaders. Nathaniel George Booker posted on May 18th, 5 days after this unfortunate incident, making peace with missing pieces. The devil was after Moses before he was born. There have been situations in life where the devil is consistently attacked, but God and the angels encamped around you have kept you. God will always accomplish his purpose. Your faith, obedience, and purposeful living works for him to accomplish purpose through you. Do not speak nor act against what God has spoken over your life. It is God in you and his word that does the work. The Lord will turn your mistakes into a miracle. He won't erase it. He will work through it. One piece of your life does not define your life. The final word of your life was spoken before your first breath. Make peace with missing pieces. Stephen Furtick, whoever that is. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Psalm 55:22. James Version. Hashtag miracle-minded. Hashtag miracle-focused. Hashtag miracle signs and wonders. Hashtag show me who you are, God. Hashtag show me who I am, God. Hashtag thank you for how you made me. You forgot hashtag Kim Foxx. Hashtag corruption. Hashtag Democratic plantation. Hashtag I give great hugs. All right. So let me let this
later, the Village Free Press quoted the mayor saying, the statutory suspension for a DUI was rescinded and taken back based on lack of evidence. So what do you think? Don't let me down there, folks. Is this just another case of an overzealous law enforcement officer or a demonstration of raw power, Chicago style? I think I need some deep dish pizza now. That's all for this one. Hit that like button for us and consider subscribing. We'll see.
Hey, who's got the heinies in there? Hey, I don't care. The police deserve a 6-pack every shift. I put that on the referendum for the taxpayer budget. Every cop should get a 6-pack. As soon as he let me stop. if the mayor can get a fundraising taxpayer subsidized tequila, just one, that ends you up on 290 in the middle lane, sleep. Why can't the peace officers of our great city who exercise great restraint and patience, why can they not indulge in a tax-funded six-pack? I mean, if Capitol Hill gets a open bar, I think Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy discovered that there's a congressional bar where they get like discounted or free alcohol, and I think that Nancy Pelosi could have used that as a defining cornerstone of her tenure. But I guess she knows we know, and that wouldn't really help her image. All right, so moving on. That Maywood mayor is, like I said, living his best life. He's back, he's back on the grind, and it's a double waste of taxpayer dollars. I mean, you see how many people are standing out there. You got the fire department, you've got ISP, you've got CPD, you've got the people who work for the highway. I forgot their name, IDOT. It's too much. And so, I think he should have got tased about, for sure when he put his hand on the female cop. I say that was it right there. Just put me on COPA. If y'all need anybody on COPA, I volunteer as tribute. Put me on the civilian accountability board. Okay, I will definitely give the thumbs up on tasing Mayor Bookie. As soon as he refused the second offer to ride in the police woman's car and put his hand on her arm, like who asked for that? But like I said, this is what we love. So he was seen a few days ago with Mayor Johnson and Pastor Bill Winston. So y'all let me know if y'all find out anything about what they got going on. And I will definitely look into Bill Winston some more, because I just think that these pastors, they got a lot. They're doing a lot tax-free. And then they're also collecting money. They're not really audited, I don't think, how we think they are. And then, you got so many politicians that are just so obviously cozied up with them. Money that disappears and programs that don't really do much of anything and vanity projects. I just need to know, are we laundering money? Who is responsible for the demise of the Black community? Why can Black folks not get off the Democratic plantation when they are faced with, I'm an elected official, as a excuse for why my tax dollars are being wasted while you're being surrounded by police and being non-compliant in a situation where I would have to be. And then now that emboldens the other criminals, that emboldens other people on the street and vigilantes, and you have people who are released and sentences that are made short, and time served credits and things like that, ankle monitors for people who go out and kill officers. We saw that with what happened with Officer Martinez, right? And so I just want y'all to know, defund the police has consequences, and I need you guys to take this seriously. And I need you guys to understand that these elected officials do not respect the police, therefore they don't care about your safety. So I don't know why you'd listen to them. And then these pastors, if they're out here telling you to vote against your interests, they don't care about you either, because they benefit from your demise, just like Democrats do. But I want to know, is some of this stuff still fake news, right? You guys keep voting Democrat, not realizing that these people are all scamming you.
Is the Chinatown parking lot. There's been some setbacks, and they collected a lot of signatures. I talked to Ray Chin, and he had been talking to Theresa Ma, and Theresa Ma said she couldn't support it to wait till May, to wait till after the elections. We thought we had a deal. Right now they want to hold off on it. All right.
This is your government
Second,
at work.
and I think you might be a little surprised on this, I've decided not to run.
Okay, that was my second thought. Well, I was looking at your name on the schedule because I said, well, he may be coming to ask to help in his election, or since he didn't file on day one.
Yeah, but.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Well, you know, the mayor retiring, that also. And what am I doing? It's going to be a very interesting, to say the least, city council next year.
Yeah, that's my view of it. Right.
You know?
I have this thought. You know, under the law, the council is stronger than the mayor. Under the law.
Yeah, and theoretically, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing and thinking.
I'm telling Chewy, you know, even though you're going to be in Congress, I think you're going to have a lot of influence because everybody wants to be a progressive. Line up to him.
Yeah, right.
Everybody wants to be a progressive. Do you see that? They're cloaking their bullshit in progressivism. When Bernie Sanders sold out, I'm telling you, there was a changing of the guard, and y'all don't even know.
Latino caucus.
I tell people, I say, listen, I like Chewy, but a progressive, I am not so sure.
I'm the same way. I don't know if you know the guy that ran his campaign, Manny Perez, young kid, went to Princeton. I was with Manny. I says, Manny, what's a progressive? And he goes, I don't know. he doesn't understand it either. But it's just riding the wave, you know, just riding the wave. So anyway, so that's the second point. The third is I'm still going to be in office till May. And there's a hell of a lot of stuff going on in the South Loop. So I figure I can still help you a lot. And so I'm committed for that.
Okay, thank you.
And then...
You want to go forward now on one of those state appointments?
No, I think it's best after I left in May. Yeah. So at the end of the year, if you can help me with that, that would be good.
At the end of the year or May, June?
No, I think I want it to look good. I think at the end of the year, you know, calendar year, yeah.
Right, okay. But you should get me like a resume.
Yeah.
Just get me.
I'll start working on it now, yeah.
Yeah. Because I want to have a meeting with Pritzker the week after next.
I was going to ask you about that because we're setting up meeting. I'm working with the Chewy, George, Rick group. I don't want to mention it myself. Unless he and I were alone, I would. But with the group, I don't want to mention it. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I want to let Pritzker know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that doesn't have to be in writing. I can just verbally tell them, look, as we go along with these boards and commissions, and I'll monitor what goes on with the boards and commissions.
Okay.
We're doing that already. You know,
okay.
We're sending names over. And I'll ID certain, there's less than 10, maybe less than 5.
Yeah, actually, they've asked, Juan Ochoa has asked me to put a group of names. My daughter is a regional park supervisor. And there's 3 regions. Because the mayor's not going to be there anymore, I'm going to give her name to Pritzker too. To Juan Ochoa to give to her.
Okay. You should give it to me too.
Okay.
Wow, wow, wow. So, you know, don't let them tell you that they're not all in bed together. So I hope that Pritzker's day is coming. I hope that Mike Madigan gets everything he deserves, because no other speaker in like U.S. history of an Illinois body, of a state body, has as much power as this man has given himself over the years. It's probably only to be rivaled by Miss Nancy Pelosi herself. And so, you know, I just want to know, is this still fake news? You know, our governments have deep, you know, the deep state, is that fake news? You know, the conspiracies, the corruption, is that fake news? Are they trying to lie to us about public opinion, you know, by suppressing things in the media?
As Chicago's mayor and city council remain at odds over how to solve the nearly $1 billion budget gap in next year, 14 members of council did something they hope may solve the impasse.
They commissioned a poll asking Chicagoans what they think the budget should look like. Political reporter Chris Ty is here with what it revealed and where things go next.
So, Joe and Erica, a lot of moving parts here, so let's get you up to speed. A quick recap. After all 50 members of council rejected the mayor's $300 million property tax hike 2 weeks ago, Mayor Johnson pitched a $150 million version. Well, this new poll, privately paid for by alders critical of the mayor's budget, shows voters have no appetite on any property tax. On this Thanksgiving week, the message is clear. Trim the fat before you come asking for money.
Chicagoans want us to reduce government, trim the fat, cut down these departments before you ask them for $1 more.
Whether it's on a
Ray Lopez has been giving Brandon Johnson the business since day one. So I want y'all to know, between Anthony Beal and Ray Lopez, I don't think anybody has been more critical of this mayor, and rightfully so. I mean, they've been proven right at every turn so far.
A Netflix tax or a property tax?
Correct.
800 Chicagoans asked a dozen questions about city leadership, finances, and ways to balance the budget. A company that polls for Democrat and progressive causes ran the poll. These 14 members of council paid for it from their political war chests. The results, they say, should send a message both to the mayor and ordinance and their fellow alders. If you greenlight a property tax hike, your political future will pay the price.
Voters have made it quite clear, if aldermen vote for the $150 million property tax increase, 8 out of 10 voters are planning on picking a different alderman in 3 years.
Alderman Brendan Riley points to the poll showing just 19% of Chicago voters support the mayor's revised $150 million property tax hike, and that 81% support 8 to 10% cuts across all city departments instead.
We don't want to see any big cuts to the police department, obviously, but pretty much everything else is fair game.
Overwhelmingly, Chicagoans want us to decrease the footprint of government in the city of Chicago without cutting services.
And for a mayor who's called himself collaborator-in-chief, the poll shows just 16% of voters see him this way.
This matter has been voted down.
Just over 5 weeks to hammer out a deal. Otherwise, a year-end city shutdown looms.
The mayor has, created this artificial time crunch. He could have proposed this budget months ago and failed to. So he's shortened the clock for us, hoping that we'll pass a flawed budget to avoid the city being shut down at the end of the year.
We are expecting to hear more specifics from those 14 alderpersons on how deep the cuts would go in almost all city departments. The mayor has said job cuts is not the route he wants to take. The mayor's office had no reply when we asked them for a comment on this poll today, Joe and Erica.
Did they ask anything else?
They asked a dozen questions. Favorability, unfavorability, not great numbers for the mayor, decent numbers for the governor, but the goal here was to try to persuade their colleagues in the council to say, hey, you vote for a property tax, you do so at your own political peril.
All right. Chris, thank you.
You bet.
So, I mean, you already knew that was coming. I mean. Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Like, you guys, you can't just go out here and keep asking people for money. And it just sounds like Chicago really wants to vote Republican. The way the complaints are coming in, the way the complaints are coming in. I don't see enough complaints about the crime, though, or the corruption within the mayor's office yet. Let's look at this one. This is fun.
Now to some developing news out of City Hall. Mayor Brandon Johnson's former communications director faced several misconduct complaints before he was fired last month.
WGN's Jenna Barnes joins us now with the latest details on the allegations against Ronnie Reese. Jenna?
Dina and Ray, misogyny, sexual harassment, and retaliation are just some of the allegations against the mayor's former communications director, Ronnie Reese. And documents released today reveal the trail of complaints against him began well over a year before he was fired.
Quite frankly, it's disgusting.
36th Ward Alderman Gil Villegas is calling for city council hearings over the allegations against Mayor Brandon Johnson's ex-communications director, revealed in newly released documents. 3 employees filed complaints against Ronnie Reese over the summer, saying he ran his team with intimidation, a hostile work environment, and inappropriate comments about race. 2 mentioned anti-Semitic remarks. 1 noted Reese said he was untouchable and couldn't be fired. Another highlighting he routinely treats women on staff differently, making comments that they're stupid and incompetent. Reese allegedly writing in a text to a woman who works for him, "I have no problem making every decision since I'm the man." In her complaint, that employee also detailed how she says Reese sexually harassed her at an off-site work party last spring, saying he wrapped his right arm around me with his hand on my shoulder, pulling me close. He pressed his thigh against mine and his knee against mine. These aren't the first signs of concern. One of the accusers notes 3 former employees Reese allegedly blacklisted by placing them on a do not hire list. The documents show at least one filed a claim with the state because they were fired and placed on that list in the summer of 2023 for allegedly complaining about Reese discriminating against them on the basis of sex. Records show he was promoted from press secretary to communications director after that.
Most of the time, particularly when you have multiple people making accusations, they turn out to be true. So they always have to be taken seriously, investigated, and the City Hall is at least to be commended on taking action, even if it took a long time.
Ronnie Reese used his clout to take advantage of people that were just wanting to do a good job for the city.
Alderman Villegas is calling for those placed on the do not hire list during Reese's tenure to be removed from it, and he expects a hearing on the practice early next year.
And the process that's in place right now needs to be looked at.
In a statement to WGN News, Reese says, "I strongly and unequivocally deny any allegations of wrongdoing. There are many, many others who know my character and who know the truth. I stand confident in that truth as I continue to prioritize my wife, my children, and the health of my family in the next chapter of my career." One of the detailed allegations mentions a team meeting with the mayor's chief of staff about the issues with Reese. The chief of staff in that meeting mentioned peace circles and wanting to include Reese in the conversation. He was first assigned counseling and more training before being placed on leave in October and officially fired this month. Ray and Dina.
A peace circle. They wanted to do a peace circle for sexual harassment. That sounds like that was Brandon's idea. Like, what in the Mickey Mouse Club is going on? And I mean, I do not say that lightly, Disney. What in the Mickey Mouse Club is going on at this place? The 5th floor, City Hall, okay? So yeah, let's see what else we got here. It just doesn't make any sense. We had, you guys are gonna have to do something because we had low voter turnout in the last election, and I don't understand why people aren't seeing that. Many voters are apathetic, especially in Democratic, led cities, because nothing makes sense anymore. Like loop violence and no comment from the mayor.
Like we're making it as safe as possible. You can't anticipate everything, but we think the more people that are down here, the better.
And now at 5:30, keeping popular holiday spots safe for people enjoying the season after a shooting that happened outside the Macy's store Saturday. Fights also broke out on Friday following the tree lighting. WGN's Brona Tumblety is joining us now from State and Monroe with the latest on this. Hi, Brona.
Good evening. Yeah, the police are staying pretty tight-lipped about that shooting itself. We'll have more on that in just a second. But given the events the last few days, we checked in this afternoon with the Chicago Loop Alliance. They have been working very hard to make sure things are very safe and special down here for the season, and they're hoping people will come out and enjoy the festivities.
There's a lot of great stuff going on. Of course, last week on the big kickoff of the parade up in Magnificent Mile. But here in the Loop, we have the Chris Kindle Market. Got the tree lighting, the Macy's windows, all those traditional, wonderful holiday Chicago things.
It's been a busy few days for a number of reasons in downtown Chicago. We've lit up the tree, the Chris Kindle Market's in full swing, and we've even had a parade down the Mag Mile. But intermingled with the festive fun, there was quite a bit of violence, with Chicago police trying to corral teenagers taking over State and Monroe on Friday night. That's when at least 2 people were placed in handcuffs and 1 in an ambulance. About 24 hours later, and roughly 2 blocks away, shots rang out, wounding a 19-year-old woman who ran into the flagship Macy's for help.
I was really amazed at how fast the police responded. It was just moments, and the area was flooded with Chicago Police Department. I did not feel unsafe, but for just a few seconds.
We're a big city, we're the 3rd largest city in America. There's lots of people that are doing lots of different things. Sometimes things can get a little out of hand. We're very appreciative of the police and the police that were here.
Michael Edwards is the president and CEO of the Chicago Loop Alliance and says they're doing everything they can in conjunction with the city and CPD to make the loop as safe as possible for everyone.
They also have 30 extra police on what they call window patrol, which is basically the holiday patrol that patrol all through the city. We have 16 ambassadors that we will deploy probably a little bit differently based upon what we hear.
There's also overnight security on patrol, with the hope being everyone going forward can enjoy the good things Chicago has to offer.
You can make a statement by coming down and being part of what's going on. We don't want people to be unsafe. We're not saying come down and be militant. We're simply saying come down and enjoy your city.
Very well
said. We did
said.
check in with police today. They tell us nobody is in custody in relation to that shooting. However, sources tell us a juvenile has been questioned, though not specifically charged in relation to the shooting. We are waiting on more updates in the case. We also reached out to the mayor's office again today for comment and received no response.
No response.
Downtown, Bernard Tumulty, WGN News.
Yeah, so I just say the juvenile was charged. I don't remember if it was like a domestic thing, but they said he tried to get away on the train, but he was arrested and charged. But yeah, so our mayor he does not seem to really take the crime seriously, and I just not, I'm not understanding. And then we've got stuff like this. I've seen people defending the criminals in this situation, and then the news does it. So
new video released this afternoon of a crash that happened in October as a driver fled police. That driver survived, but his passenger was ejected from the car and killed. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability has yet to determine whether the threat posed by the 2 fleeing people outweighed the possible dangers of a pursuit. It's an issue WGN Investigates has reported on extensively, as the city has paid out nearly $100 million in settlements in the past 5 years.
Just for officer safety and possible attempt vehicle theft, we got a black sedan going eastbound 556 who was driving erratically.
October 1st, just before 2 a.m., 2 men in a black Lexus being chased by police blow through a red light, swipe a car, and crash into a building.
Squad, we're about at 38 and West.
Radio traffic indicates the officers were 2 blocks back at the time of the crash. A passenger in the fleeing car died. The driver suffered a leg injury. The driver of the car that was hit was okay. A preliminary police statement said at the time officers observed 2 individuals believed to be armed entering a black Lexus sedan. As the officers attempted to investigate, the sedan fled at a high rate of speed and officers pursued.
I've been very concerned about police pursuits since I became mayor. The frequency of them, that they cause death, they cause injury, property damage, the whole works.
Former Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration tightened police vehicle pursuit policies after officers, suspects, and innocent civilians were being injured and killed. The policy directs officers to decide whether the necessity to immediately apprehend the fleeing suspect outweighs the level of inherent danger created by a motor vehicle pursuit. It goes further, listing crimes cops can't chase for, including traffic offenses, DUI, theft, and even possession of a stolen car. Earlier this year, retired Chicago Police Lieutenant John Garrido told us it handcuffs police and emboldens criminals.
I always say, bad guys are generally dumb. But if eventually they keep taking off and realize,
hey, nobody's coming after me and they're getting away, it spreads and they eventually figure it out.
Despite policy changes, WGN Investigates found the number of pursuits in Chicago has risen by 50% in the last 3 years. The number of pursuits terminated has only increased slightly, while the number of chases that end in injury has decreased. Police report finding 2 guns at the scene of the October crash in McKinley Park, where officers dragged the driver to safety.
Let's get him away from the car. Bro, we're going to have to move you back farther.
Well, this afternoon, police tell us despite finding 2 guns at the scene, the surviving driver has not been charged. The investigation, they say, is ongoing. The officers have not faced discipline. They remain on the job. As our reporting has found, this is not just a safety issue. It's also a financial one. The city has paid out at least $98 million in police pursuit-related settlements in the past 5 years.
So as a matter of whether or not the risks outweigh the reward of catching or, you know, the imminent danger that could be stopped. If you see somebody getting in a vehicle with a gun, you know, I don't see how that's like, how do you not, you know, especially if they just speed off. Like at that point, how is it not the driver who should be at fault? Like, I don't even know why this is still a conversation. This is, to me, is pretty cut and dry. The police are 2 blocks back. So like, how is that? Is that high speed? Like, who told him to run? Like, I don't get any of this as far as like, I get, yes, trying to prevent innocent lives being taken. And I remember there was a time when there were a lot more stories of, you know, police involved chases where people were, you know, killed. So I'm not trying to minimize that, but like that retired officer said, you know, and then as you can see what happened after COVID and the carjackings and the, you know, with the Kia boys and everything, like they know no one's chasing them as far as, you know, doing the looting and everything else. They know no one's chasing them. They know no one's going to stop them. They know charges will get dropped. Like there's just no consequence for being a criminal in Chicago right now. And I mean, if y'all are okay with this, then go ahead, keep doing it. But y'all gonna have to look in the mirror and make some real hard choices right now, because it just seems like y'all still got y'all head in the sand. And, you know, these people are wondering why Democratic cities are looking like crap, and people outside of these cities in the states, in the red, you know, areas of these states are really having serious conversations about like, how do we get away from them people like, and their issues and their burdens, because like all they do is, you know, suck up all of the revenue and, you know, cause issues. Like, I mean, yeah, you generate revenue in those big towns, but hell, who's going to be there anymore if all of this tax-paying, upstanding citizens are killed or, you know, scared to stay? You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the long game here, unless you just want disruption and communism and, you know, unfettered power, like you all said, you know, Trump wanted. But it seems like that's what the name of progressivism is. It's just like, you know, a money laundering machine at the expense of your safety and security. I mean, why not? So yeah, no charges for that guy for whatever reason, even though he should be charged with the passenger's death, in my opinion. Put me on COPA, y'all, because that right there is like very, very cut and dry. No jail time for the guy who was shooting at police. Let's see, when was this? Just so much. Yeah. So there was a driver who pointed a gun at an on-duty Chicago cop because he wanted to get involved in a police pursuit, has been sentenced to 2 years. He won't spend any time in prison because he gets credit for wearing an ankle monitor while the case was pending. So he wanted to get chased. So you have that to factor in, okay? That there are people who want to be chased, okay? And so give them what they're asking for. They want to eject themselves out of a vehicle. No, I mean, seriously though, this is insane. He wanted to get chased. Like, what do you do with this? This is what I'm saying. Y'all can't just come out here and be like, defund the police, all police bad. Because this is insane. What are they supposed to do with this? And I'm an elected official. What do you do with, I just want to get chased by the cops for fun, and I'm an elected official, I want my attorney? What do you do? How do you police that? How do you police in a city where your mayor says, yeah, RIP fallen officer, not gonna say your name, but I'll be at the funeral even though your parents don't want me there? What do you say to that? So yeah, they let the guy go because he already had served time on ankle monitoring. And then you got this here. Migrant tells Chicago cops, this is November 30th, he carries a gun because his son got murdered and they didn't do anything about it. Report. Okay. Brian Corniel Gutierrez, courtesy of CPD here. All right. He says, all right, so according to this, a migrant was accused, and this is CWBChicago.com. I think there's like an independent journalism journalists in our city. Thank you for this work. A migrant accused of possessing a loaded firearm during a traffic stop told Chicago cops that he carried the gun because somebody murdered his son, and the police haven't done anything about it, according to a CPD report. According to court records, this marks Brian Corniel Gutierrez's 7th arrest in Cook County. He also had an outstanding warrant for failing to appear in court on a pending charge of possessing ammunition. Later at the police station, the 24-year-old stated that he was in jail because the cops caught me piped up, the report said. Corniel Gutierrez was the front passenger in a car the police stopped for a code violation in the 800 block of West 71st Street on November 24th. The police said they saw him bend forward and sit up again as they approached the car, making them suspect he had stashed something. According to CPD, they found a loaded .40 caliber handgun under his seat and a loaded .40 caliber ammunition magazine inside his crossbody bag. An officer recalled Corniel Gutierrez explaining, "Lo cargo porque mataron a mi hijo y ustedes no hacen nada." That, according to police, translates to, I carry because they killed my son and you guys do nothing. And you guys didn't do nothing. The way they translated that, they rude. Y ustedes no hacen nada. But I mean, that is literally what it says. It's so funny though. According to police, it translates. I'm sorry, I just found that so funny. All right, according to his arrest report, he made another excited utterance at the police station. Another excited utterance. Estoy preso, estaba pistolada. Like he's bragging. Which supposedly translates to, I'm in jail because they caught me piped up. Pipe is slang for firearm. Thank you. Judge Susana Ortiz declined a prosecution request to keep Corniel Gutierrez in jail, deciding instead to release him on an ankle monitor. Corniel Gutierrez was arrested in the West Loop under similar circumstances on August 17th. He was the front seat passenger of a car with a broken side window replaced by cardboard in the 900 block of West Randolph, according to a separate CPD report. When cops asked the driver to turn off the Hyundai, they used a pair of pliers to turn the ignition. Officers then discovered that someone had also peeled the steering column. Officers looking for Corniel Gutierrez's ID allegedly found a 9mm bullet inside Corniel Gutierrez's crossbody bag. The report said that they also found a 9mm handgun under his seat, but the driver claimed ownership of the weapon. Corniel Gutierrez's other brushes with the law include a domestic battery arrest in April 2023, which was dropped when the alleged victim failed to show up in court. He was arrested in May 2023 for multiple registration, driving, and motor vehicle violations in the Loop. Court records show he failed to appear in court 3 times, but the outcome of the case is not clear. Wonder if Kim Foxx is involved in that. Retail theft at a store in the 1600 block of North Harlem in October 2023. He received a sentence of 3 days time served. Retail theft at Zara, 700 North Michigan in November 2023. The case was dropped when the store failed to appear in court. All right. And so, yeah, you know, what do you want from him? Yo estoy pistolada porque la policía no hace nada. Like, come on. Yo soy residente. No ciudadano, pero residente, like, inocente, you know, residente que necesita apoyo, no encarcerado, no, like, come on. Well, what are you gonna put me in the carcel for? I just need a gun, bro. Oh, we have licenses for that here? Oh, well, I didn't have to get a license for anything else, so ¿De qué hablan? Like, the fuck? Injusticia. All right. So yeah, so that's what's happening, and I'm sure police are loving every moment of this. But then shit gets real, right? Shit gets real.
Getting ready to start. Let's listen in.
Good evening, Shatanya Johnson, Police Chief for the Village of Oak Park. Today, the Village of Oak Park, the Oak Park Police Department, and police officers from around the world are suffering. We're mourning the loss of our beloved Allan Reddins. He was killed in the line of duty today, serving and protecting the community that he so cherished. Allan was 40 years old and a devoted father. He leaves behind to mourn his loss, his 19-year-old son, his mother and siblings, as well as a host of friends and officers. Allan started his career here with Oak Park Police Department on the 15th of May, 2019. Prior to being a police officer with the Village of Oak Park, he did a short stint with Metro Police Department. My heart goes out to those officers that he served with. But more importantly, the work that he did here was so impactful. I personally knew Allan because I did his background investigation, and I quickly identified that he had a talent that was needed here. Allan was a committed officer who became a detective a few years ago. He closed substantial cases and helped us to resolve countless incidents. He was a natural. Today at about 9 a.m., he responded to a call for service for a man with a gun leaving the Chase Bank on Lake Street. He, as well as several officers, encountered that offender on the 800 block of Lake Street. After trying to direct the offender to show them his hands, the offender brandished a firearm and shot Officer Redding. At 10:10, Officer Reddings was pronounced deceased. The offender was injured during this incident, was treated on the scene before being transported to the hospital. I want to thank our fire department as well as all of the officers locally and a distance. Our police department, we're hurting right now. I'm hurting. His family is hurting. Please keep us in your prayers, and I thank you all. Any information regarding his homecoming will be posted on our website. The investigation is ongoing, so I won't take any questions regarding the investigation. I ask that you all respect his family privacy while they deal with this tragic incident. Thank you.
So this is right before the holidays, you know, and I'm sorry, y'all. Like, this shit really, like, every time I watch this is like my second or third time watching her. And, like, you can just feel, like, she's, like, oh, my God, she's torn up inside. I mean, rightfully so. You hired him. You brought him on. You thought so highly of him. And, you know, you kind of would feel, you know, somewhat responsible. Any good leader would, any good supervisor or, you know, superintendent would, any mayor should and would, should. I don't know about ours, but he gave our mayor, Brandon Johnson, gave accolades. I think I saved that. Someone did a comparison side by side of like how he eulogized Officer Martinez in a statement, and then how he responded to Allan Reddins' death in his Detective Reddins' death in a statement. And he mentions Reddins by name, but then his own officers in Chicago, he couldn't give the respect to mention by name or to, stay away from the funeral when asked the first time. So I can't relive this again. It was so much, but you guys can go watch that. She goes on and gives a little bit more details, but doesn't give much around the investigation. I believe as of today, I heard that the person is now charged, and they did release more information, but I'm not going to give this individual any more time or light, as she also refused to do during this conference, because obviously she's very emotional, and then she we don't want to honor the murderers of police. It's crazy. Okay, and so if that doesn't move you, I don't know what to tell you. You're broken. You're broken. If you think that it's okay to keep, pushing these narratives of all the police are bad, all the police are racist, all the police are out here abusing their power and beating on everyone. If that's what you want to keep pushing as the narrative, and this doesn't touch you and move you to take a look at how that rhetoric and that sentiment can materialize into more flagrant violence towards police. There was no reason this man just opened fire at him. This is insane. It's just no reason for any of this. Just like you saw in that video we saw the other time where they were chasing the man on foot and he just turned around and started shooting at them. It's for some bags of marijuana. They have no respect for their own lives, and then they don't value the officers' lives, and then everyone just keeps saying it's okay. You got the church saying it's okay. You got the media saying it's okay. You've got COPA saying it's okay. Where does it end? And so I want to show you this then. If you're not moved by officers losing their lives trying to protect you.
Tonight, a story you'll see only on CBS News Chicago. A family torn apart right before the holidays. This father of 5 was shot and killed in an apparent ambush while working a landscaping job in Englewood earlier this month. Our Charlie DeMar spoke to his family, who was searching for answers.
Tonight, a candle burns to remember Ricardo Rebollar. From his hat and power tools to his glasses, reminders of the 59-year-old fill his Cicero home.
Family guy, been here over 40 years. Never had an issue with anybody else. So this tragic thing just happened. It just broke everybody's hearts.
His sons Allan and Marco say their dad was kind and hardworking. He worked landscaping and construction jobs. Rebollar was working a job with his brother in this Englewood alley at 64th and Parnell earlier this month.
Yeah, the person shot's going to be at about 6410 South Parnell in the West Alley.
The men were ambushed. Police say Rebollar was shot several times and died. His brother was uninjured.
There's really no motive. Why he killed a guy. He didn't take any of his personal belongings. Wallet was there. His phone was there. So what's the reason? We're asking ourselves that question.
Homicide inside that truck right there.
Cell phone video taken from the night of the shooting shows Rebollar's white work truck still parked in the alley. Allan and Marco say their dad wasn't robbed either. Back at the scene, flowers and burnt-out candles rest next to Rebollar's work gloves that are still there. The family is raising money for a private investigator as they search for an arrest and closure during what will be a challenging holiday season.
Physically, mentally, it has destroyed us as a family. And each and every day, it gets harder and harder. But we really try to do our best. But all we want is justice for our father.
So far, nobody is in custody. The family has started an online fundraiser to help with some of those unexpected expenses. We've put all of that information on our website, cbschicago.com. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Chicago.
Are y'all fucking heartless? What are we going to do? Because we have to help stop some of this crime. I don't know why y'all don't feel responsible. So if you're out here and you're, if you have a voice, if you have ideas, like, you need to get to those CAPS meetings. You need to get to the community input sessions with the city. You need to, give them clues when you know something, because this is insane. Everyone can't just go silent and go hiding and then just blame the police for what's wrong with the society and blame all the politicians for what's wrong with the society. You have to take responsibility as neighbors and community members and family members as well, because we all need to help. Like, it's all hands on deck right now. So yeah, I thought that was just so sad, and I haven't seen that anywhere else. And so this man has been here for 20 years doing, what he had to do, minding his business. And he lost his life for something fucking inexplicably just trivial. Who knows what was the reason? And it's just crazy, and he shouldn't have lost his life like that. It's so sad. And I'm infuriated when I hear shit like this. But anyway, you guys want your mayor and your governor to protect, criminal migrants, though, right? They're going to protect criminal migrants and the criminals of our city, apparently, because if you're going to protect migrants who commit crime, then you need to protect residents and citizens who commit crime. And then if you're not going to do that, but you're doing a great job, you and Kim Foxx have already been doing that. So it's just continuing your tradition, just making sure that open borders is also part of that, right? But yeah, it was all fake news.
There is growing concern among the NYPD over Venezuelan gang activity across the city.
Oh, I thought this was fake news. Somebody told me, oh, you got to stop watching Fox. They're lying to you. Oh, no. Wait, this CBS, guys. See, this is the thing. You think you're talking to somebody who doesn't fact check themselves, someone who doesn't go find the original videos and find the original links and the original legal, the legislation and the statutes. I'm not doing rumors here, okay? If I do, I'm going to tell you that's what it was. It was a rumor I heard, maybe someone said. But if other than that, trust and believe what I say it with conviction because I know. And I've seen the videos. And we have to be stupid to believe that all them people coming across the border, ain't none of them people terrorists, ain't none of them people gangbangers. Please wake up, America.
Police believe some gang members are recruiting children living in migrant shelters.
But you care about the children. You care about the migrants. You care about the women and children. But you don't want to deport these people. You don't want to vet these fucking people before you throw them in a goddamn hotel or a shelter with a damn predator. Sorry.
As Jennifer Bisram reports, the gang has blended in with asylum seekers who began arriving here in 2022.
Once they commit their crimes, they go back to the migrant community where they assimilate themselves with people that are actually here obeying the laws.
The NYPD.
How does that help? They trying to flee the violence from their country. They get here with the damn violence. With the violence from our country and their country still coming with them, locked up in the same goddamn shelter.
PD is cracking down on Tren de Aragua. The Venezuelan gang they say is living in the shelter system and recruiting children.
We have 39 members of TDA that have been identified, and we have an additional 4 members that have been identified of a subgroup called the Little Devils of 42nd Street.
42nd Street.
Yeah, those are much younger kids.
And those are just the members police have been able to identify.
We have no fingerprints on file for them. We have no photographs on file for them. We have no prior criminal history on them. They swap out their IDs. We have no way of tracking or knowing who they are when they enter the country.
The NYPD's chief of detectives says undocumented criminals as young as 11 years old are carrying out retail robberies and committing crimes on scooters, snatching people's jewelry, watches, and cell phones at gunpoint and knife point. Over 300 incidents last year, more than 800 so far this year. They brazenly shot at police officers, too.
When we do make arrests and we're able to charge them on 4, 5, 6 incidents, when they go before a judge in New York City and their arrest record is run, they show no prior criminal history. They're released on their own recognizance. They're not offered bail, and they're released back into the public.
Some migrant mothers we spoke to say they fear their boys will be forced into the world of crime.
Pues People have warned us to be careful with the child because they are recruiting younger children. It worries me a lot.
Arada Piera and her 11-year-old son Dylan live in a Manhattan migrant shelter. They arrived from Colombia last year. When she's not volunteering at Metro Baptist Church, she's with her son, warning him of the dangers of gangs.
We're afraid he will get recruited and they will force and manipulate him to do bad things that will get him into trouble.
Power Malou, co-founder of Resources, Opportunities, Connections, and Community, is trying to keep migrant kids off the street by creating youth programs, including a soccer club.
I absolutely know that the soccer program is important for the kids to be able to get involved with something where they feel like they belong and they're having fun as kids, being able to support each other, build community, and stay away from the streets and be able to not have to get into the violence and get into the gang activity.
Over 60 kids ages 5 to 14 have been enrolled so far, including Dylan.
It's fun because we get to eat pizza and I have so many friends and we play.
He says he wants no part of the gang life.
I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be bad. I want to be good, helping the people.
Malou says more resources and spaces are needed to help the nearly 22,000 migrant kids in city shelters. That's 38% of the migrant population currently in the system.
The newest New Yorkers are coming here and they don't have any programs for them. So then they're looking to do something. They're looking for something to do. So they're easy targets.
In the meantime, the NYPD is working with its federal partners to curb the growth of the gang violence sprouting at some migrant shelters, spilling onto city streets, and in some cases, detectives say, even among migrant families who are also becoming targets.
What we're also seeing is a majority of the migrant community sometimes themselves are the victims of crimes. They're preyed upon by these gangs. And there's a reluctance to report it sometimes because they feel that that might get them deported or that might get them in trouble with the police.
And police say they're also seeing the Venezuelan gang recruit migrants who are here from other countries as well. They say it's very important to note that there is a small percentage of the migrants here committing the majority of the crimes. Jennifer Bisram, CBS News, New York.
And you can. But Pritzker says he's gonna protect them. He's gonna protect them. Pritzker said he's gonna protect them. He better check in with Brandon Johnson, maybe singing another tune since Denver's mayor had to clarify that he doesn't want to go to jail when Tom Homan said, hey, you want to protect them? Your ass can go to jail too, because you're gonna be in violation of one of the acts where it's harboring an illegal alien is illegal or whatever. But yeah, so you guys try to say they made this shit up. There's not gangbangers with the migrants. So we didn't say they were all, we said there's some. And if you don't take accountability for it, you'll never know.
Justice Fox 17 News pressing Nashville's mayor about a growing gang threat in Tennessee's bigger cities.
Now, this follows the human trafficking arrest of this man, a member of the Tren de Aragua gang member down in Chattanooga just this week. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker at the Metro Courthouse after tracking this story for more than a week.
People are asking me where this gang is the most active or saturated. It's a topic that I've covered for weeks now, but I've really struggled to get clear answers from local leaders and the TBI.
They're back in all of our major cities.
TBI Director David Roush made a shocking announcement earlier this month warning Tennessee communities of a growing threat from a South American gang in major cities. Have you had any word of any of these members here in Nashville?
What I will say is Chief Drake has advised us, even before the TBI report, we knew that they were active in Tennessee. The Metro Nashville Police Department has a very active and successful gang unit, and they have continually monitored that activity.
Mayor Freddie O'Connell says his office will continue to count on MMPD for intelligence and high-profile arrests. That's thanks to a strong collaboration with the U.S. Attorney's Office. But right now, you haven't heard of any sightings or arrests?
Right now, I'm not aware. I will say it this way. I know that MMPD is aware of their presence in Tennessee, and they're monitoring what the situation looks like in Nashville.
We asked Metro Police if they've witnessed this gang in Nashville or have made any related arrests. A spokesperson with MMPD did not go into specifics, saying they are well aware of TDA and MMPD has a heightened awareness.
We've got to bring this to an end.
Pushing for action, Fox 17 News spoke with U.S. Senator Bill Haggerty this morning after TBI's Chattanooga arrest of Adelvis Rodriguez Carmona.
It is deeply concerning. I've met with the leader of TBI, Director Roche, who's gone through this with me. Basically, Venezuela has unloaded their jails. Their crime operations have moved not only into other countries in Latin America, they're coming into America right now.
I thought it was fake news. I thought it was fake news, guys. I thought it was fake news, guys.
On back-to-back days,
What?
both Mahomes and teammate Travis Kelce had their Kansas homes robbed on back-to-back days just last month. And just 2 of the growing number of celebrity athletes in multiple leagues to be targeted, and prompting the NFL and NBA to issue a bulletin saying it's important for players to maintain situational awareness, practice social media safety, and implement home security measures to reduce risk. Now, because team schedules are public knowledge, it's easy for these burglary rings, most coming in from South America, to know when the players will be gone. And some may already be under surveillance. Tactics have included attempted home deliveries, posing as ground maintenance or joggers in the neighborhood.
This certainly has a level of sophistication to it, obviously.
Former Special Agent Michael Tabman recommends getting the FBI involved.
We have to have an agency such as the FBI with broad jurisdiction throughout the country. So when we have crimes occurring in multiple states, not only do we have the jurisdiction, but we have the resources.
Here in California, home
In multiple states, you guys. Oh, it's just one. I thought it was just a one-off in Denver. I thought it was just a one-off in Aurora, Colorado. I thought it was just a one-off in that one New York City hotel. I thought it was just a one-off where they were raping the kids. I thought Lake and Riley. I thought it was just a one-off.
tourism burglary has been a problem for years. Thieves hiding cameras in bushes and fake rocks, jamming devices used to disable security cameras. Hundreds of Chilean and Colombian tourists have been arrested, including some of the masterminds.
Once the crime tourists had gone across the country and stolen merchandise, money, credit cards, debit cards.
Oh, look who's back there. That was one of our dream teamers, Karen Bass, right? It's Karen Bass back there. That's one of our dream teamers who went out there to talk to Biden and then didn't get to talk to Biden and then Eric had to leave because people was getting raided.
They would send much of that back to the defendants. The defendants would then fence or sell that merchandise.
One of the latest cases may be in Santa Clarita. Drones used to surveil 3 homes in a well-to-do neighborhood. Then hooded suspects entered the backyards and break in, only to be followed to a nearby motel parking lot.
I thought it was fake news. I thought it was fake news, guys. I thought it was fake news, guys. Look, you see Karen Bass. She's very quiet. She's very quiet back there now. Denver mayor said, I don't want to go to jail. Let me find that. Hold on. Sorry, guys. You gotta hear this.
Put him in jail. He's absolutely breaking law. All you have to do look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see he's breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
Not Rogan.
He's absolutely breaking law. All you have to do look at
Not Rogan. Okay, because if that's what we want to do, that's what we're gonna do. But he tries to clear it up now. He said, oh, here we go. Let me see. This is a better. I love how Greg Abbott is just sitting here cheesing with these little slanted eyes.
I think we will see Denverites and folks around the country who will nonviolently resist that.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
Yikes. So yeah, your brother here changed his tune a little bit. Let me see. Here we go.
Officers are also going home to their families and saying, hey, I heard the mayor is telling you that you might be deployed to face off against federal forces. Do you regret making those comments?
Yeah. What I wanted people to understand was the scale of what could be coming if we take the president at his word.
which is I don't think anyone envisioned U.S. military troops being deployed in American streets to gather up women and children.
Why do they keep saying?
If that happens, I think it'll be a much more dramatic scene than people anticipated. That's what I was trying to establish. Would I have taken it back if I could? Yes, I probably wouldn't have used that image because I don't. That's an image I hope we can avoid. What I was trying to say is this is an outcome I hope we can avoid in this country. I think none of us want that. There is no North High School grad who signed up to be an Army Ranger who wants to come back to his hometown and round up his former high school students. No one wants to do that. That's I think our purpose was to make the case that's what we want to avoid. But I certainly did not mean to stoke fear on either side of the line.
You talk about civil discourse like you're walking.
The way they're walking everything back, they didn't mean to stoke fear, but then they said very fearful things. Sorry, just like this one here.
In here? What?
She's losing it, bro.
What is happening here?
It's a meme, Joy.
Well, what is happening here? What is happening? What's happening here? What's happening? What's happening here? What's happening here? Oh.
She has lost it. She left Twitter and we're all rejoicing, but God help that woman. So yeah, I mean, you know, New York's mayor's the only one who really came out and just said, hey, I'm with it. Let's take these people out of here. I can't do it anymore. There's another New York politician who's also calling for getting rid of the sanctuary laws. I know Trump said that he could sign an executive order and get rid of sanctuary policy. And of course, like they said, if you're harboring criminals under the Alien Acts of like 1798, like they have the right to come in and use military force, and they don't care about your National Guard or your local police. They're just gonna get it done. And so yeah. Oh, here we go. NYC Democrat says in the sanctuary set madness now.
New York City Democrat councilman is calling on city and state leaders to ditch sanctuary policies. Yep. A Democrat. He writes in a letter, the policies, quote, not only violate federal law, but also put New Yorkers in harm's way. Democratic New York City council member Robert Holden joins us now. Robert, thanks on behalf of New Yorker for speaking up. And you've said this before. Do you feel as though people are going to listen after this election?
Well, they better, because I love Tom Homan, the new border czar, who came last week on Fox and said, you know, we're going to hold these mayors and governors accountable. Certainly, he said, don't cross that line, because they are violating with these sanctuary city laws by shielding. They are violating. It's a felony to shield these criminals, these illegal immigrants. So we need to start really doing that. We need to actually get rid of and deport these illegal aliens who are committing crime.
Can you imagine a scenario where there's a criminal being held in New York City, and it happens every day, and he's an illegal alien, maybe with links to gangs. ICE shows up, and there's no cooperation from the NYPD under the laws from the city council. It's just mind-boggling. How is that in anyone's interest?
It's in nobody's interest. And we have to remember, especially in New York City, 9/11, what happened? We didn't communicate. NYPD didn't communicate with, obviously, federal agents. So that's how the terrorists got in. So we need some communications. And what we're doing here is we're like shielding them. The governors, Democratic governors and the mayors of these sanctuary cities are shielding criminals and terrorists, Brian. So this is why it's so very important to start cooperating with them.
And you say the problem is the city council, correct? They're left-wingers, ultra-left-wingers.
Yeah, and over the years, they're shielding these illegal aliens who are committing crimes, which is unbelievable. Why would you want to keep them in our country to really attack citizens? But not only that, but conspire possibly, and we have terrorists that have gotten across the borders. We know it, and we don't know where they are. And of course, some of them are in New York City, and that's very, very dangerous.
So you have a mayor that could do something about it. Governor will ultimately make a decision. What could Mayor Adams do because he has expressed frustration like you have expressed.
Yeah, but he can also petition the governor. He could possibly do some call on the city council. Let's negotiate this. Let's try to amend some of the sanctuary city laws. There's 4 of them over the years that the council has passed to have less cooperation with the feds. We need to cooperate with ICE, especially on the illegal aliens that are committing crime, and that's what I'm really focusing on, and also the possible terrorists that are in New York City.
The Mayor Adams got a problem. If the governor wants him out with the indictments that are already been served him, he could be kicked out. So if he takes on the governor, it's not going to work for him personally. Is that an issue?
Well, again, I'm looking to President Trump, because I think President Trump could say, you know what, if you're going to violate the laws, the federal laws, the statutes that we have on the books, it's a felony to shield and harbor illegal aliens who have committed crimes. And you can't do that. You can't shield them from ICE. So the president actually could say to the governor and to the mayor, cooperate with us, or we're going to charge you with felonies. How's that one, Brian? How's it? That's a reverse now. Now we can have the governor and the mayor charged with a felony for shielding and harboring illegal aliens, which Tom Homan said on Fox last week to Lawrence, by the way. He said, don't cross that line because it is a felony and we will hold you accountable.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching Fox. You're part of the Common Sense Caucus, 3 Democrats, 6 Republicans who care more about the country than the party. And we appreciate it, Robert Holden. Thanks so much.
All right. And so then it looks like Kathy Hochul actually came out and aligned herself with Eric Adams. So here we go.
And they should be held accountable for that. But we need to. Our immigration system is woefully broken. It's been broken for decades. There was an opportunity to make meaningful change that the Republicans in the House of Representatives killed, and they should be held accountable for that. But we need to fix the border, fix the system. But I'll tell you this, those who come here legally, we want to get them jobs. I have 460,000 open jobs in the state of New York. I want them to get the proper work permits. I want them to keep their temporary protective status, if that's what they have. I want to make sure that they're part of contributing to society while they're here. That's separate from people who are criminals. Someone breaks the law, I'll be the first one to call up ICE and say, get them out of here. So there is a difference in categories of individuals. And so I just had a meeting this morning with my team that's been studying all the scenarios that could play out over the next few months and what we need to do to prepare. We'll be announcing more about that, and also making sure that our final requests to the Biden administration are secure. And so that's something else. Again, I'll do a report on what we've achieved in the next couple of weeks.
So just to be clear, are you supportive or not supportive of deporting undocumented immigrants whose only crime is either crossing the border or overstaying?
If they're here with legal papers, like they came and they're seeking asylum, like the 224,000 people came to New York, they're here legally in search of asylum, and that process will play out. But there are other people who commit crimes or are known to be criminals before they arrived here. When those are identified, I'll be the first one to help get rid of them. I don't want them here. I don't want anybody terrorizing my citizens. So that's the difference.
That was a stunning break from the other Democratic governors and mayors. Kathy Hochul says, I want my federal funding. I don't have time for this. Eric's already in trouble. He's not I can see the room. I'm reading the room and I want to be reelected. So Tom Homan says, hey, y'all want to get together and throw a temper tantrum and protect criminals? Fine. I'm going to throw y'all asses in jail. Get out of our way. We're going to do it with or without you.
If you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need. Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of.
How about fuck you? Why don't you go fuck it?
Man, oh man, oh man.
The resistance that some of these Democrat governors and leaders are having against what you and President-elect Trump are planning to do. How do you fight that? And how do you then kick these people out of the country?
Well, look, I wake up every day and the world's upside down in these sanctuary cities and these left-leaning politicians. They want, all of a sudden, my dad was a cop, my grandfather's a cop, I'm a cop, we're family cops. We're at a situation now where the cops, the ones who want to enforce the law, now we're the bad guys. But the ones who break the law, they're the victims. So if the mayors and governors want to step in the way, look, you can either help or get the hell out of the way because we're going to do this job. The American people give President Trump a mandate. We're going to protect this country. We're going to enforce the immigration laws. And look, I can't believe there's any mayor or governor who wants to push back on us. President Trump has made it clear. We want to concentrate. Our priority on this operation is public safety threats and national security threats. What elected official doesn't want public safety threats and national security threats taken out of his community?
You know what?
For God's sakes.
Tom Homan is not here to play with y'all, so y'all better get out this man way.
The idea that some place in Illinois wants to kick out another place in Illinois should not be on the ballot. It shouldn't be something that's part of the lexicon and discussion of politicians. We're one state. We're supporting each other. And as I was simply trying to point out, there are folks in Cook County who may not love the idea that they're sending $2 to an area of the state that only puts $1 into state coffers, but they do it anyway. And why? Because we're one Illinois. And the same thing, there are lots of people here in Madison County who support the idea of Cook County being part of Illinois. They understand that 102 counties, this is one of the greatest states in the country. I believe it's the greatest state in the country, and that it's our collective that makes us great. Having an agricultural economy second to none, and having great industry up in Chicago that helps produce revenue that supports the rest of the state. All of that brings us together into a great state. The idea that
Is it the laundering of the migrant money or something else? Are you talking about something else? Allegedly, Chicago is overrun with illegals. Pritzker solution, along with the mayors, to raise taxes. Man, they deep. This really Rainbow Beach. That's crazy. This look like DR. Venezuelan, it look Caracas. Baby, get Caracas. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they claim some couple took over. Let's see if I find this real quick, and then we're gonna be out of here. Yeah, so according to this Sub-X News, Venezuelan home invaders, male and female migrants taken into custody after being found in an apartment after the owner came home from holiday, 7350 South Phillips at 8 a.m. on the 29th of November. The man and woman in custody. So there's a video of the police escorting a couple out of a building in cuffs. So I don't know about the, corroborating that, but this is according to the Citizen app or the Sub-X News that basically gathers news and crime data from the scanner. Because sometimes we don't get all the news, obviously, because we've got, left media trying to make things appear differently than they are.
American citizens who are going to stand there and do everything possible to prevent. I promise you with every fiber of my being, because I'll probably be one of those people, that if anybody comes for these people and tries to drag them out by force, there will be protests of people like me, American citizens, who are going to stand there and do everything possible to prevent these women and children, which is all who these people are.
How about the criminals? How about the terrorists? How about the...
Why do they keep trying to say it's nothing but women and children? Every video I saw of people coming across the border, it was mostly men. It was very sparse to see women and children. So please, let's stop with this rhetoric of it's all women and children. They're all innocent women and children, because we know what you're doing here.
How do you sort
Stop. How do you know who it is?
How do you sort through
That's the problem. I don't know who
Stop,
it is.
stop. I'm sorry. I live next to these people. I can tell you they are women and they are children. Are there terrorists among them? I don't know. But I can tell you that
And neither does the government.
But I can tell you, but let me tell, okay, but what I'm telling you right now, practically speaking, is that there will be people, American citizens, who will prevent these little kids from being dragged out of these shelters. There are. And what's going to happen to these people? What is going to happen to the military when the military opens fire on us?
But no one's. Tracy, we're way down a rabbit hole here.
You
promise you with every fiber.
These people are insane. Now, not only are all the migrants are women and children, and then they're not criminal, but they may be terrorists with them. She doesn't know, but she doesn't want to find out. She's just gonna stand in front of bullets. Cause she don't know. Cause she don't know. She gonna stand in front of a bully cause she don't know. I know one thing though. This shit was no fucking accident. Excuse my French. I know one thing. This was no accident. Ida.
People are owed is an explanation. What the British people are owed is an explanation. Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck, it isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support, of which they then pretended wasn't happening.
A policy with no support that they pretended wasn't happening. Doesn't that sound familiar? An experiment. Doesn't that sound familiar? Don't we feel like we're being experimented on? Venezuela on steroids in a city, sanctuary city near you. Hopefully coming to an end once all these governors and mayors figure out they don't want to go to jail for these migrants. Hell, they didn't even want to put them in their own homes and mansions that they renovated with our tax dollars. So they didn't want to stand on that square and fight that fight. So we're gonna end it here on a lighter note. Did you know that this Christmas was written by a Chicago postal worker?
Paying your bills on tonight. The story behind a Christmas classic, the song "This Christmas," performed by Chicago soul singer Donny Hathaway and many others over the years, has been a holiday favorite for half a century.
Yeah, but you might be surprised to learn that it was written by a Chicago postal worker. WJ's Mike Lowe has the fascinating backstory of This Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
But it doesn't sound a lot like Christmas until you hear This Christmas.
It's not just a typical Christmas song, but it's like a soulful, enriching song. Simple, but a lot of things that are great are simple.
The simple origins of the song date back to the 1950s and a young Nadine McKinner's trip from the South Side to State Street.
I was a Christmas nut, and I loved the stores on State Street in Chicago.
The elaborate window displays at Marshall Fields sent her imagination soaring.
So I was in another state of consciousness. Wacky, wacky.
She was touched by the Christmas spirit.
Look what happened when you let go and let God. He goes on out to the moon and circles around and comes back with some stardust.
Years later, McKinner would work for the U.S. Postal Service, delivering Christmas catalogs.
And I was looking at all the beautiful homes and decorations for the season. So I got carried away, I'm sure.
The letter carrier was carried away writing holiday jingles in her head as she delivered the mail.
Homemade poetry turned into songs.
One day, a man doing some work on her home mentioned he was also fixing up the home of Chicago soul singer
God job.
Donny Hathaway.
God job.
She says it was divine intervention, or a God job, that brought the mail carrier and the musician together.
I said it was a God job. He said a God job. I said, yeah. There's Donny Hathaway, music genius, with his first single out. And I get to meet him because the man who's working in his office in the house with the decor is working at our house with the decor.
God works in mysterious and apparently musical ways. She shared the lyrics, and Hathaway loved the song. This Christmas was recorded and released by Atco Records in 1970.
He catches the hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, he puts a frame around it that we all recognize now. That intro is strictly da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, wake up and celebrate Christmas.
Hang all the mistletoe.
Ain't she adorable?
This Christmas.
It just gives you that feel of this warmth and love.
More than 50 years later, Hathaway's memory is alive in a mural staring down 53rd Street in Hyde Park. Just down the block at Hyde Park Records, the song is still in high demand around the holidays.
Donny Hathaway was a genius. Like, musically, his voice is just from heaven. So, you know, for Christmas, it's just the perfect combination. I think it's just, yeah, the perfect song for Christmas.
But some things go right to your bone marrow, and it just really just takes you back.
Customers call it a Christmas classic.
So whatever was in her heart at that time, she put to pen to paper and passed it on, and that just made it a hit.
We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas.
The soulful song holds a special meaning for the Black community.
It's our anthem. It's a Black Christmas anthem. That's a staple, but this Christmas is the only one by us, for us.
Nadine McKinner's son Mike takes pride in his mom's lasting legacy, which includes a Grammy for writing the iconic Christmas song.
I smile on the inside because I know a secret. Like, my mom wrote that song.
Now 82 and living in Lawndale, California, she is recovering from a stroke. She's still mentally sharp and vows to get her physical strength back soon.
I'm going to get up and kick butt. That's the truth.
She remembered the lyrics she wrote a half-century ago, as if they were written on her heart.
Well, the fireside blazing bright, we're caroling through the night, was actually true.
Fireside's blazing bright.
That line was inspired by the crackling wooden logs in the fireplace at her childhood home.
We were just enjoying the season and telling stories and eating and drinking and doing what people do, having a good time. And the fireside is blazing bright is actually true experience.
And the twinkle of Christmas lights in her neighborhood inspired this love letter of a lyric.
And as I look around,
your eyes outshine the town.
Today, This Christmas is more popular than ever. It has been covered more than 300 times by artists
this Christmas,
ranging from Diana Ross
fireside is blazing.
to Destiny's Child.
Your eyes outshine the town, they do.
And from Christina Aguilera
And we're caroling through the night.
to Chris Brown.
A miracle and a blessing.
McKinner is still feeling the Christmas spirit.
It's a big thrill because there's so many people who love it.
And she knows whenever it starts to look like Christmas, her song will make it sound like that too, in Chicago and beyond.
So it has broken a lot of barriers, and I hope they'll do it on the moon one day.
In Chicago, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
Ain't she the Kurdish? I love it. Oh my God. All these hamburger places in the background. I can't. I'm so hungry now. All right. But yes, Nadine McKinnon, you're a legend and you're beautiful and I love you. And Chicago is a beautiful place, especially during the holidays. I was downtown taking pictures and videos of the lights and just like, it's just so beautiful. You just fall in love with it. So don't ever think that my city is not a beautiful place to be and to experience year round, because there's always something wonderful happening and, you know, beautiful things that our tax dollars go toward. But yeah, y'all save my city because we need to support law enforcement. We need to hold our community members and stakeholders accountable for their role in the violence and the disruption and the rhetoric around, you know, non-compliance with the community and the laws and, you know, the welfare of our, you know, our citizens, right? And so knowing what we know, we need to do better. We've tried the progressive experiment. We've tried, you know, the traditional American, you know, WASP experiment. Okay. And, you know, DEI is not perfect and clearly needs some work to be done to make sure that the most deserving members of each of our communities are lifted up and are allowed to represent us, regardless of what our racial or whatever background is. But yeah, we will not make it far if the police do not have support, if criminals run without consequence, and if politicians are allowed to break the law, stand against their constituents in enforcing of certain laws, defy the will and mandates of voters, okay, and coddle and protect illegal immigrants and those who come to do us nothing but harm. It's just a bad place to be. But let me know what you guys think about anything that we talked about here today. The mayor of Maywood, do you think he's going to get reelected? Do you think any other news sites should pick up that footage and really expose what happened that night? Do you think you would have gotten as many opportunities to comply on the expressway? Do you think drinking is just part of being a politician and we should just look the other way? Do you think that, do you think that New York is going to be the the guiding light for democratic retribution? Or, because I'm just saying, like, at this point, Hochul and Adams have now stood up to the other Democratic sanctuary city ideologies, and obviously against this Biden-Harris administration in a way. And so we have to ask, is this a change of the guard? Will they lead the rest of the sanctuary cities out of the darkness? Yet we will find out. If you enjoyed this and any of my other content, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out, and share so that my content makes it out and we know what you're looking for and I can provide more of that. I'm looking to hit 500 subscribers, so please help me to push for 500. I also would love to get merchandise and things like that up for you. So if I can get to 1,000, that would be great as well. Also, please make sure, if you can, you donate at Cash App Nicole Patrice Music. Cash App Nicole Patrice Music. to help support my channel. I come out of my own pocket for everything that I do, and it takes time and, people that are helping me to do things. And so I have to be able to finance that. And so if you're enjoying this content and you want to keep seeing it and see it more regularly, please, if you can give what you can, whenever you can, to Nicole Patrice Music on Cash App. Also, if you visit my website, cocopatrice.com, that's COCOPATRICE.com, you can sign up for my Spanish coaching lessons. So one-on-one coaching, hour-long coaching sessions. There's also a free consultation, 15 minutes included if you sign up for one of the plans. I can help you and a friend for a discount. Please ask me about group rates as well, where we can all just learn some Spanish, because I feel like being bilingual has helped me in so many ways, and I love to spread that ability and that passion to you as well. So I will look forward to hearing from you guys, and I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys around next time. Please make sure you let me know in the comments what you thought about anything we talked about today. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you hopefully before the holidays. But if not, have a happy holiday and New Year. Thank you. Take care. Bye.